Hello ladies and gentlemen, do you remember Chris Brown? Notorious rapper? Singer, if you can call it that. He beat Rihanna, quite abusively in fact. Went on to win loads of Grammys. I didn't see anyone actually at the time making a big song and dance about it. However, Louis C.K. wins a Grammy, or Grammys. Controversy. The hypocrisy. So I thought we'd dive into this because this popped up on The Hollywood Reporter. And I wasn't aware of it at the time. Like, who watches the Grammys? No one. No one cares. I mean, I only looked at the red carpet to see Dua Lipa because she looked damn fine. But that was about it. So Louis C.K.'s Grammy win stirs questions and controversy. Okay. Alright, well let's take a look, shall we? Let's see what the hypocrisy leads us to. So Louis C.K.'s Grammy win for Best Comedy Album on Sunday was his first major award since a 2017 scandal in which he admitted to several incidents of misconduct. The award was presented during the Grammy premiere ceremony prior to the main telecast. The comedian wasn't present at the MGM Grand Conference Marquee Ballroom in Las Vegas to accept the award in person. Many winners of these non-televised awards are no-shows at the premiere ceremony. Yes, because no one cares. No, even so, the very fact that he won has stirred controversy and raised questions. How could he win? Oh my god. Especially when the Recording Academy has been working overtime to boost the number of women and other underrepresented groups in the Academy. Right. Because it might have been the best one. The simple, if rather glib answer is that his Sincerely Louis C.K. got more votes than any of its rivals. That's right, ladies and gents, it was considered to be the best one. It was voted. There is no mechanism or precedent for the Grammys to not allow a controversial figure to be nominated. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why Chris Brown won loads after beating the living crap out of Rihanna. Has everyone forgotten that? No? Harvey Mason Jr., the Recording Academy CEO, addressed the controversy stirred by nominations for Louis C.K., Dave Chappelle and Marilyn Manson when the 64th annual Grammy nominations were announced last November. This right, ladies and gents? Oh, even Dave Chappelle's on the chopping block. Asked about it by The Rap's Brian Welk, Mason said the Recording Academy doesn't take personal history into account when determining eligibility for its awards. Now, I think that's personally great. Why? Because you separate the art from the artist, and that is what you need to do. You know, I'm not going to read a Lovecraft book and every time, give 5 Hail Marys because he was a xenophobic bigot at some times. Like I'm not interested in that. I don't care. I would rather just appreciate his works. We won't restrict the people who can submit their material for consideration, Mason said. We won't look back at people's history. We won't look at their criminal record. We won't look at anything other than the legality within our rules of, is this recording for this work eligible based on date and other criteria? If it is, they can submit for consideration. Good. That's how it should be. But he also added, what we will control is our stages, our shows, our events, our red carpets. We'll take a look at anyone who is asking to be a part of them, asking to be in attendance, and we'll make our decisions at that point. But we're not going to be in the business of restricting people from submitting their work for our voters to decide on. The Academy invited Bargatze to serve as presenter at the premiere ceremony, valuable exposure for someone at his career stage. But how did CK win anyway? Even carrying that baggage. Oh my god! How could he win? Grammy voters often gravitate towards familiar names, especially in down ballot categories, right? Of course. This was Louis C.K.'s 4th nomination and 3rd win in the category. He also won for Hilarious, live at Madison Square Garden, and CK is one of only 3 comedians to win in the category 3 times since 2000, along with the late George Carlin and Chappelle. I mean, surely Chappelle would carry more of a name weight than Louis C.K. would then. But then I'm sure people would just accuse it of racism at that point then. 2 other nominees in the category this year were also repeat nominees. This was Black's 6th nod in the category. He's won twice, and Hart's 2nd. He has yet to win. CK also caught a break when the Recording Academy ruled that Bo Burnham's Inside, the biggest hit of the year on Billboard's Comedy Albums chart, didn't meet the criteria to compete in the category. So, I mean, this is just nonsense, isn't it? This is nonsense. So it's fair to say that voters in the comedy community supported CK, despite the controversy. Voters from outside the comedy community weren't likely use up a field just to ding him. Before the scandal, CK, 54, was one of the most successful comedians of his era, success that was reflected in awards. CK's admission that he had repeatedly exposed himself to women without their consent, which followed the publication of an expose in the New York Times, caused swift backlash. His 2017 film I Love You, Daddy was pulled from distribution prior to its release, and his stand-up career also came to a temporary halt. In 2020, CK released a new comedy special, Sincerely Louis CK. On his website, it is the album from that special that brought him his third Grammy. And he addressed it as well, like he addressed bits and pieces of the controversy. And then they say this, Chappelle, meanwhile, has faced backlash for transphobic comments. None of it was transphobic, just as an FYI. And, admission that he repeatedly exposed himself to women. I mean, they'd literally gone up to his room, yeah. Anyway, did the controversy over his jokes hurt Chappelle's chances, or was the respect for Louis a civil rights icon and appreciation for the job Cheadle did on the project simply too much to overcome? The controversy certainly didn't help. To me, this is all incredibly baffling. Why would, and again, this is not right. I mean, Dave Chappelle, you'd think Dave Chappelle would email in and be like, no, get that gone. I didn't say anything transphobic, because he didn't. There was nothing transphobic about his comments, and this is why no one trusts mainstream media anymore, because this kind of stuff is just trash. How can you sit there and say that? How can you sit there and be like, oh yeah, he made transphobic comments? He didn't make anything. Nothing was transphobic. Literally nothing was transphobic at all about what Dave Chappelle said. It's absolutely baffling to me that this is even a thing. But I don't recall, again, the whole point of this was I don't recall any articles such as this at the time when Chris Brown, beat the living crap out of Rihanna and won loads of Grammys. Now, again, I'm not going to sit there and I'm just talking about fairness across the board. Why is one okay and not the other? Why do we need to write articles like this and, write complete lies like this, transphobic comments, when you didn't on the other side of it? When that was, I don't get it. And this is why mainstream media is dying. Dying a very large death. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. Think you deserve to win? I don't know. I haven't listened to it. It's not my jam. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. It's always intriguing. Cheers, guys. Take care.